Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called on the UN to evacuate their peacekeeping troops from Lebanon after a fifth peacekeeper was shot and wounded yesterday. Although Israel has not said whether it was Israeli military that injured the peacekeeper. We're here with the latest is Justin Olivier Salhani, a journalist in Beirut in Lebanon. Justin, thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
What is the latest that you've heard concerning the peacekeeping force in southern Lebanon?
Well, the latest we have is Netanyahu's, I guess you could say, warnings to them to evacuate, or his call on the UN Secretary General for them to evacuate. We've had, by my count, at least four wounded UN peacekeepers in the last couple of days. Two of those were Indonesian, and the other two, I think, I'm not sure at this moment. I think one of them might have been Irish, though I'm not entirely sure on that. The warning was not taken well. There was a unified signed letter by, I think it was 34 different nations. There's 50 peacekeeping nations. 34 of those signed, basically calling and condemning the attacks on the peacekeepers. And in France, President Emmanuel Macron also condemned the issue, and France summoned the Israeli ambassador there. So it's an issue that is being watched by much of the world.
The Israeli Prime Minister has referred to the UN as a once respected institution, contemptible now, a swamp of anti-Semitic bile. These comments came from him directed towards the UN about 2 weeks ago. This warning from him saying that these peacekeepers need to be removed immediately, how's the UN going to receive that instruction from the Prime Minister?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure how they'll receive that. I think there will be deep concern. I mean, it seems, similar patterns have played out in Gaza over the last year. And, this is not the first time that UN peacekeepers have been wounded in Lebanon as well by Israeli attacks, by Israeli forces. I think it's important to note that the UNIFIL released a statement saying that these attacks are deliberate. And groups like Human Rights Watch have said that deliberate attacks on peacekeepers amount to a war crime. So, I think it's something that they're watching closely. They're concerned about. The threat of calling them human shields is a pattern that we've seen playing out through Israel's actions in both Gaza and Lebanon in the last year. So I think it's something that they'll be keeping a close eye on and having serious concerns about as their peacekeepers are in the line of fire.
We should say UNIFIL is the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon. That's the acronym. And for those wondering, Justin, I've just been looking that up as well. That force has been there since 1978. It was there to oversee the withdrawal of Israeli troops from southern Lebanon and to restore peace and security. And it's a mandate that's been renewed on an annual basis by the Security Council.
Right. Yeah, that's correct. They've been there since 1978. There's about 50 different countries with about 10,000 peacekeepers there. The largest contingent today is from Indonesia, but there are hundreds from a number of European countries and global countries as well. As you mentioned, they were founded in 1978 to help pull the Israelis back from an invasion. The Israelis, of course, invaded again in 1982, and they had troops on the ground again in 2006. I should mention there was an occupation from 1982 to the year 2000. So they've been active. They've been involved in conflicts in the past. So they will have plenty of experience in terms of communication and dealing with these two sides.
Thank you so much for giving us your time, Justin. Really fascinating speaking to you. Justin Olivier Salhani, journalist based in Beirut in Lebanon as the conflict continues. That's cool. No, 1444.
report any hostilities in the AO, any particular tensions in the night. Actions on source. IDF for watch for gatherings, redeployments of troops, APCs, main battle tanks, and anything else in the AO. LAF, their positions in the Irish AO hold that.
Much quicker than we did it anyway.